Postal Service.
Aff everyone! Let's get straight to the point. This video is for those of you who ordered a comic book from the official Metal Family website and are worried about having not received anything yet. Unfortunately, I can't track every package myself, answer every message, and check every delivery, so that's why my assistants handle all that. They are very responsible workers, but unfortunately as a leader, I was not prepared enough, even though we had all expected that there would be a lot of orders. We thought that, in the best case scenario, the comic books would be sold out in a couple of months, but in fact we were out of stock in a week. And that's awesome on one hand, but on the other hand, it's awful. Our team had to process not 100 orders a day as we had planned, but more than 400. Although we have overcome most of the technical difficulties, there remains the major difficulty with the postal service itself.
Postal Service.
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about this. I want to confirm that we are sending all of the orders out, and we're not trying to deceive anyone. But the problem is that it could take more than a week from the moment you pay for the order and receive the tracking number from the postal services. And that's why in a week's time, there's no communication from our end, which concerns some of you. We totally understand this, and we are sorry. But I would like to highlight the behaviors of some buyers that make our assistants' jobs significantly harder. First of all, entering the wrong or incomplete name and address. Here's an example of how the form should be properly filled out to avoid losing your package. Zip code, city, street, house, building, and apartment number if applicable. If you only entered the street name and your city, but for some reason skipped your house number or, my goodness, missed your zip code, then your order will most likely get lost. And when it does, you'll be sending us endless angry emails asking, "Where's my comic book?" And we'll end up putting all the shipments away and searching for your order just to find out after spending half an hour in vain that you accidentally made errors in your address. Second thing, please don't make typos in your email address. We always send a tracking number to the email you specify when placing your order so that you can track it. If you've made mistakes in your email, then the tracking number won't reach you, and you'll be sending us endless angry emails asking, "Where's my comic book?" Okay, you get the point. Very important. As soon as you pay for the order, you should receive the following message to the email you specified. If you received it, then congrats! You filled in everything correctly. But if you haven't received the message, this means that either the email was entered incorrectly or the message ended up in your spam folder, like the next ones with the tracking number will. So just in case, check out your spam folder. Oh, yeah, another important thing. The package will not be delivered to your door, folks, but to the nearest post office, so please contact them immediately and do not wait for the mailman. Now, let me explain how things work in case you double-checked and did everything right, but there's still no response from us. Let's say this is Bob. He ordered something from our site, the payment was successful, and he even got the email that his order is being processed. Bob knows that there will be an email with a tracking number soon, so he can track the comic book. And when the comic arrives at the post office, Bob will find a notification in his mailbox that the package is available and he can come and pick it up. That's the expectation in a perfect world.
Postal Service.
Now let's see how it happens in the bitter reality. Right after Bob placed his order, it got to the queue. Let's say he's the 1,000th in line. 1,000 orders will be processed by our assistants, and that'll take longer than a day or two. Therefore, about 3 days will pass from the moment Bob paid for the order until the time the assistant sees the order. Bob's package is prepared and gets added to the batch for shipping. You need to know that assistants do not run to the post office as soon as someone places an order, but will ship the orders out in batches once every few days. So even if Bob was the first in line, he actually would have waited until the whole batch had been gathered, and only after that batch of, let's say, 500 packages would have been sent to the post. Then it would have been passed to the postal clerks, and only then would they have started carefully and patiently processing it.
Postal Service.
And I'm not saying that postal workers are lazy or something, but let's be honest, they have no reason to bust their bums to rush processing. So, let's say it takes 3 more days to send all the packages. Bob is waiting, but he's getting anxious. The week has passed, but still no tracking number is in sight. Finally, 3 days later, the post office passes a list of 1,000 tracking numbers to our assistants. And you may believe that sending a tracking number to each person in that 1,000 isn't a big deal. But now let's get back to those fellas who entered their emails incorrectly. Currently, 1/3 of our orders has that problem. We search for that person, reach out to them, and only then send the tracking number. Therefore, when it gets to Bob's turn to receive a tracking number, a few more days have passed, and Bob is now absolutely outraged. He keeps writing to us with a delicate question: where is my package? But there's a problem with that. His email is buried under hundreds of messages from those of you who've sent 5 emails from different accounts already, just for a good measure, in order to make sure we don't miss your question. A great deal of these emails are from angry customers who have made mistakes in their emails, addresses, and names, or from parents of the children who made those mistakes when placing their order. By the way, please help your kiddo with those things so that you don't have to write those angry messages later, and so that we can finally help Bob. Let's wrap this up, and stay tuned for a very important announcement. It just so happens that sometimes when the tracking number reaches you, your package is already being transported, or it could have been delivered to your local post office already. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. We hope to find a solution for this issue by the time we'll be shipping the next batch. For those of you who've already placed their order and 2 weeks have passed and you still don't have a tracking number, we strongly suggest contacting your local post office ASAP. Chances are that your package is already there. I am making this video because I've been informed that nearly 1,000 comic books have been waiting for their new owners at the post offices and no one's coming to pick them up. Some for a couple of days, some for a week or longer. You might not have received your tracking number, or the email with it went to spam, or maybe you got the tracking number but haven't checked it expecting a notification from the post office. Guys, come on! It's the Postal Service!
Postal.
Stop expecting. Act now! If you fail to collect your package and it stays at the post office for more than a month, it will be sent back to us and we won't be able to buy all of them back. So anyone who ordered the comic book and have not received their tracking number for more than 2 weeks, contact your post office ASAP. I'm sure your comic book is already there and is crying, waiting for you to come pick it up. And once again, sorry for the inconvenience. We were so not ready for this amount of orders, and we'll do our best for this situation to never happen again. I meant problems with shipping, not the amount thing. The amount thing is good. Keep it up, please. Thanks for understanding. Arf, arf, everyone!